Hello and welcome. Good to be back in the hot seat. We make a trip to KwaZulu-Natal. We're on the Polytrack at Greyville this afternoon. I see there's 8 races on offer, which naturally means the bar pot will start in race 1, the PA race 2, pick 6 race 3, first jackpot race 4, and the second jackpot in race number 5. All right, so there is a bit of rain predicted, I believe, this afternoon in Durban, but we're on the Polytrack, which is good news. I'm going to dive straight into it just to remind the viewers out there that you can find us on various social media platforms. I see the market in the first race has number 8 Witchwood at 28 to 10. You can update your publications. Gavin Larena now gets the ride. The 5 Regina Bellissimus at 33 to 10. The 9 horse Dressed to the Nines at 15 to 4, and it's 9 to 2 and better those. All right, we're going to start with Darren on the line. Darren, all the way in the Western Cape. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. I know yesterday was a challenging day in the Western Cape, but we'll pick it up this afternoon in Durban. Welcome.
Yes, I'm not too sure if we can pick it up today, but it's a very competitive card. I thought maybe later on in the card we found a bit of value, but let's start off in the first. Witchwood, that was a good run with the blinkers fitted last time out over the 1,000. You've got Dressed to the Nines that improved with the blinkers fitted. Numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, probably between those 5 runners.
Yeah, it's a challenging race. I think it's a very difficult race. I know the source Witchwood did run a better race last time out, and we know that Tini Prinsloo is going along nicely. Daryl, welcome to the show. Good to see you again, and good to be back in the hot seat. Anything you like in particular in the first?
You're happy to be back, Brendan?
Over the moon.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for standing in. When stables are hot, Brendan, you have to follow them. And the stable of Washong is currently on fire. I think this filly, Regina Bellissima, I know that she appears to be very limited and she's had her chances. But the fact that she shows pace on the Polytrack, she's well drawn, she's got fitness on her side in the stables in a rich vein of form. I'm going to take my chances and hoping she finishes in the top 2, as I have bankered her in the opening leg of the bar pots. So for me, it's banker number 5. If you want to go wider, I'd possibly include the 2 that Darren's touched on, Witchwood and Dressed to the Nines. But if you just go to that run behind Zaria, Regina Bellissima holds her quite comfortably on that run. So, like I say, in or out for me.
Yeah, this Regina Bellissima, obviously, like Daryl said, the yard's in good form. So we do wish Washong Mowing all the best.
Yeah, can I touch on something? I want to touch on her latest form line, in fact. Let me just go to that run for you, Brandon. I know Clyde's not here, and you know Clyde and his form lines. And
3 winners.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, that form line's holding up. La Premiere, Vision to Achieve, and Auvergne Princess. All won. Now, they finished 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. She was sandwiched in between them by finishing 4th. Hopefully in the top 2 today.
All right, beautiful. We'll be hoping for Mr. Kevin Hunter. We'll see Silks in the winners' enclosure. Let's put up those selections and see what we're doing in the first of 8 this afternoon at Hollywood Bets Greyville. Daryl Marie, the bar pot, is going to bank a 5 in the first leg by 1, 2, 5, and 6, by banker 4, by 2, 4, 5, 6, by 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, by 2, 4, 5, and 10. 320 Rand the spent. Race 2 goes off at 1 o'clock. It actually looks to be a good little race on paper. I know it's only a 66 handicap, but there's a few horses that are in good form over here. Good to see Fabian Habib taking a few horses to the Poly this afternoon. This is over 1,000 meters. The favourite is What a Tiger. Richard Ferree's been booked to ride, 19 to 10. Another Day in Africa's at 4 to 1. It's 6 to 1 and better those. Let's start with Darren. Darren, is there anything in particular that catches your eye here?
A horse that I did mark in the card, the only horse I marked in the race was actually Drogarati. Now, he's had the 2 comeback runs over 1,200 meters, and I believe he's a better 1,000-meter horse. So as long as he isn't too far back, because there's a lot of speed in the race with horses like Shots of Courage. So Drogarati, he will be running on. It all depends on the pace and if he can get up in time. Now, this field is probably very tricky. I gave all 7 horses a realistic chance of winning. So not a race I would get involved in either.
Yeah, look, Fabian Habib's in terrific form at the moment. Just going back on Saturday afternoon, the boys cleaned up, and good on them because they support the game in a big way. Daryl, there's no doubt that they'll be in Durban this afternoon, hoping that What a Tiger can get it right. Is this the one they need to beat?
Yeah, I believe they're in full force down in KZN, Brendan. I mean, they won an absolute fortune over the weekend. They're living it up down there, so good luck to them. Yeah, I'll give him a big winning chance. I mean, if you like his chances, you have to fancy Another Day in Africa. Nothing separating the two of them. But if you look at Another Day in Africa, a horse like Mallorca Palace, number 6, has him stone cold. I mean, he's 3.5 kilograms better off. So I know he's a 6-year-old and he hasn't won in, 870 days. But at the weights, Mallorca Palace is a huge runner. And also like Drogorati, you know, he's only won twice to date in his career. Both times have been over 1,000 meters. He's got Gavin from a 1 draw. He's nearing peak racing fitness. He has to go into all perm. So for me, I make it between numbers 1, 2, 5 and 6. Preference for Mallorca Palace.
Tricky race. Very tricky race. Let's put up those PA selections. You're probably going to have to go 2 or 3 horses just to make sure that you're safe over here in the first leg. Daryl's going to go with 2 horses. The 1 Drogorati and number 6 Mallorca Palace. By Banker 4, by 4 and 5, by 1, 4, 7, by 2, 4, 5, 10, by Banker 1, and the last leg 2, 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9. 288 Rand is the spend. First leg of the pick 6 starts race number 3. We over 1,800 meters. I see there is a scratching, number 8 Wild Star, so you can update your publications. The market very short. King Bavarian, number 4 Even Money. The 2 was Global Rulers at 3-1, and it's 11-2 and better those. Darren, are we going to banker this horse in the first leg of the pick 6?
He's a possible banker, Brandon, but he has had 9 runs in the maiden. I had a look at his opposition, and there's not much in the race. But I liked his last run. He is the horse to beat. Now, dangers. A horse like Global Ruler, it's his first test over this trip, and he's improving the further he goes. So Richard Fourie in the saddle, I thought he's the main danger to King Bavarian. Then you've got a horse like Bandmaster, who lost 4 lengths at the start in both his starts. And last time out, he finished a lot closer. He was 3 lengths behind Global Ruler. But if it wasn't for that bad jump, he would have been right on top of him. So 2, 3 and 4, and then Hulls Bulls of the rest.
So King Bavarian, Even Money in the markets. I'm just having a look at those form lines. I see His Master's Voice has come out to win from the form line. Zabadak, who was 24.5 lengths behind in that particular race, has come out to win. And Pixie in Love, who was beaten a double distance in that race, has come out to run second from that form line over 1,600 meters. Daryl, does this mean that this is a good thing on the card, or are we going to add 1 or 2 more?
Listen, yeah, Brandon, I went and watched that replay of Beach Palace and nothing caught my eye. I know Bandmaster got left at the start and he's probably got the most scope for improvements out of those that finished ahead of him, but I just wasn't impressed. And I think that form line is actually not going to stand up. So I'm all in over here with King Bavarian. I actually believe his current odds of Even Money are generous. Like you say, the form line has been franked. He's a much better horse without the blinkers. I think now's his time to get it right. He's met the perfect opposition to do just that. So a bank in all bets for me, King Bavarian.
Short and sweet. Let's hope it'll be another good winner for Muzi Yen. He had a good winner in the Western Cape yesterday, and he'll be hoping to pick it up in Durban today. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what we're doing. It's the first leg of the pick 6. Daryl Marie's going to opt that we take a pick 3 rather, and I see he's going to banker the 4 in the first leg, being King Bavarian. Second leg, 2, 4, 5 and 6. So that'll be race 4, and then race 5 he's gone 1, 3, 4, 5 and 7. For 20 Rand, you can choose how much you want to take it for, but take it a few times. Hopefully we catch us pick 3. You need to be on at 13.35. We move on to the jackpots now. The first jackpot starts in race 4. It's an open market. The favourites, number 8, Shaken Not Stirred at 4-1. 4, Fashion Enigmas at 5-1. Jollification, number 6 at 6-1. And it's 13-2 and better those. Again, I'm going to go to Darren first. Darren, I'm going to put you on the spot here because it's a very tough race, tricky race. I don't think there's anything in particular we can put the rent money. How do you see the first jackpot playing out?
Well, you got to include Mysterious Girl. Now, she was a reserve runner. She comes into the race from draw 11. Since being stepped up in trip, she's done really well. A first, a second, and a third. She was running on strongly last time out. You got Fashion Enigma. She's yet to win on the poly, but Richard Fourie takes the ride. She's never far off the action. Jollification comes out of the same race that Fashion Enigma and Mysterious Girl come out of. And she was right on top of them, a length and a half off. Shaken Not Stirred, Hot Strike, I'm a Buzz. I thought of another very tricky race. Let's hope we have some straight bets after this, race 5. But so far the card's been quite tricky for me.
Yeah, look, this was Mysterious Girl must have an outstanding chance. Does get a run now because English Primrose has been scratched, number 11. If Gavin Larena can try and beat that awkward draw, there's no doubt that Mysterious Girl is going to have a lively chance. Decent price, I thought, Daryl. 13-2 does look to be a bit of value.
Oh, Brennan, unfortunately, I never included her because she was a reserve runner when I did my perms. But if you are taking any of my perms today, excuse me, Brandon, I do suggest that you do include number 13, Mysterious Girl. Yeah, Fashion Enigma, I mean, she's finishing close up recently. She hasn't seen the winner's enclosure in, 400 odd days. But she's been finishing right up there and her ratings come even further down. So she's not one that's the most reliable, but she'll run a thereabouts sort of a race. I expect improvement from number 5 over here, Roy's Rocker. Now, I was impressed with the penultimate start, Brandon. That was on the poly track over 2,000 meters. She was heavily under sufferance on that occasion, and you can see by the penalty that she picked up, she ran well above her rating. So they gave her 7 pounds or 3.5 kilograms for that 4th. Then last time out on the turf, she just went too quick in the early stages. So with 53 to shoulder, I think she's going to be competitive. So I'm going to make her the each way play in the race, number 5, Roy's Rocker.
So you did hear the news. Obviously, Daryl did his perms early, and perhaps you do want to include 13 Mysterious Girl because that was a reserve, and we know that number 11 English Primrose has now been scratched. So perhaps include 13. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what Daryl Marie is going to do in terms of the jackpot. So 2, 4, 5 and 6 with the option of including 13 in the first leg. By 1, 3, 4, 5 and 7. By 2, 4, 5 and 10. By 1 and 3 it's going to cost you 160 Rand. It'll obviously cost you a little bit more if you do include number 13 in the first leg. Get on. I love the jackpot play. It's going to pay some money. You need to be on at 2:15. Let's go to the second jackpot, race number 5, where the favourites last one standing, number 7 at 15-4, 3 Little Prince at 9-2, the 4 Aventadors at 13-2 with the 5 Sugar Blast, Banzai Pipeline I see shortened 13-2 and it's 7-1 and better those. Okay, so we're going to start with Darren. Darren, it does look to be a good race again. This was last one standing. I thought won a terrific race last time out, the 3-year-old Bay Gelding. I see Daryl Daniels still gets the ride for Glenn Kotson. Goes to the poly track now. Is this the horse they all need to beat?
I believe so, Brandon. I watched that replay because I didn't actually watch the race live. But I saw the replay last night. He's very leggy. He was stretching his legs out. But it looked like he needs 2,000 meters plus just on his action alone. And I was impressed with the manner in which he got the upper hand late and extended away from them. And first time on the poly, but 2,000 meters, I'm hoping they go at genuine pace and he can just slice through the field late because I think he's above average. So I'm going to go last one standing to win. And of the rest, numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 to chase him home.
I do agree with Darren. I think this horse has got ability last one standing. If you can pull up the replay, you'll see it was actually very impressive winning last time out. If you can bring that run to the poly track and has obviously stepped up back at home, I think going to be very hard to beat. Daryl, I see Sugar Blast, a bit of money for Sugar Blast, number 5. I know on good authority that Piet Bunzaya and Herman Bjerkes, they had a good braai at Tini Prinsloo over the weekend. I think they're still in Durban and they'll be hoping that Sugar Blast can win.
Excuse me, Brandon. You know, I was actually very impressed with his latest victory, because if you watch that race in the early stages, he was traveling hard, he was pulling, and for him to have fought them off and extended like he did at the finish, I think he's obviously found the right trip. And would I be shocked to see him go back to back? No, I wouldn't. He does form part of my play. You know, I got a call from Paul Attier, the owner's brother of Last One Standing, just before race time last time, and they were very, very confident. He delivered. He could be anything, the source. Likely raced, certainly one that can improve. Tobacconist, I think off his current rating, Brandon, he's a major player. His last 2 starts, I don't think the races have really panned out for him. I think Ant from a neat draw with 52 to shoulder can just get some cover. And this horse is capable of finishing his races off. So I think he could upset the apple cart over here. And Eventador, the race didn't go according to plan for him last time out. He's better than that. So I think this is a tricky event. I'm actually going to say Tobacconist each way, but it's very open, Brandon.
How much did you win on Last One Standing last time?
No, I had my life on Galaxy Explorer, and that's why Paul called me. He said, save your stake at least.
Copy that. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what we're doing. Darren Burrows suggests that maybe we have a nice little bet on Last One Standing. We can't get hurt at that price. He's a 3-year-old bay gelding. Yes, he's going to have to step up. Yes, he's going to have to prove that he's as effective on the poly track, but I think he's got the ability and he might just take all the beating in the 5th race this afternoon. Race number 6, where the favourites is Muzieni and Fabian Habib, written in the sand. Number 4 at 7-2, 5 Kittens Adventure 9-2. The 10 is at 9-2. It's 11-2 and better. Those. This can obviously change. Remember, it's a pre-recorded show, so keep watching that market until they load. Darren, what do you like over here? This horse won a gutsy race last time out, written in the sand. I know there's 1 or 2 individuals that got the chocolates on that occasion. Are we going to follow up and go with this horse again?
Brandon, I actually don't like anything in the race. I've included all of 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm not going to be of much help in this race. I thought very tricky.
Let's go to Daryl Marie, because when I say 1 or 2 individuals, I tell you this man, last time out he liked this horse. 16-1, I think was the opening price. They backed it all the way until race time. And I thought it was an excellent find. I know he was very upbeat, suggested that the boys have a small little nibble. She won a good race, Daryl. Are you going to back that up again? I don't think you'll be having as much as you had last time, but today we're going to have a nibble.
Those were the days, Brandon. Those were the days.
You're still living off that cash. What do you mean?
Yeah, she won a nice race. I mean, you must remember, I think there were a few colts and geldings in that race too. The race did go according to plan though. I mean, she had the neat draw, she had the right horse to follow. Only 1.5 kilogram penalty. I'll give her a winning chance. I do say she can go back to back. You know, Fabian Stables red hot at the moment, so follow Stables in form. That's all I can say. This horse number 2, Give Me a Lullaby. Excuse me, Brandon. You know, if she can settle in running, she's a different sort, or she's a different prospect. Sometimes she does too much in her races. But I think Nicholas from a 2 draw with 52, he doesn't have to bounce her to get into a good position because she's got that good early toe. So if the race goes according to plan and she's in the perfect position and she's only got a featherweight to shoulder, she could cause the upset. Yogas's yard's doing well at the moment, so I think she'll be thereabouts at the finish. You know, I must thank Titch for pointing out these stats. Have a look. Com Naidu and Gavin Lerena, they've teamed up 8 times, right? 5 wins in 2 seconds.
Sure.
Hey? They're on fire. And Yazafili, that's only raced 3 times to date. She's really done nothing wrong. And she's another one open for improvement. So I went numbers 2, 4, 5, and 10 with no particular preference, Brandon.
Yeah, watch out for this horse, Kitten's Adventure. I tell you, Cole Dickin, also a wonderful rider. I wish he'd get more opportunities. That ride on Teichmann in the Lucky Last on Sunday was a great ride for Wendy Whitehead. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what we're doing in the 6th race. Daryl Marie suggests we take a pick 3. He's going to start off with 2, 4, 5, and 10 in race number 6. In race number 7, he's going 1 and 3. And the final race, race 8 off at 16:35, he's going 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. 48 Rand, you can take that a few times. This particular race, race 6, goes off at 15:25. So we're on to the 7th race. It's the penultimate on this 8-race program. It goes off at 4 o'clock. And the favourite at the moment is with number 1, Quinabi at 11-2. It's Richard Ferry for Wendy Whitehead. Number 7, Pour Some Sugar on Me at 6-1. The 11 Star Choice at 6-1. And it's 13-2 and better those. All right, I'm going to go to Darren first. Darren, this is not an easy race. Perhaps we want to look at trying to find swingers, exactas, quartets and trifectas. Is there anything you found for value?
Brandon, I like this filly Kitty Boys Girl. She was trading at 20-1. I think she shortened a little bit. But, you know, she was impressive when she won her maiden 4 runs back over the 1,400 meters. Her 3 runs back, she ran in May. Then she had a break. And her 2 comeback runs, her last effort was fair, should I say. But she dropped from a 73 down to a 65. And she gets the 4-kilo claimer on her back and 3 draw. So if there's going to be an upset on the card, I thought Kitty Boys Girl was worth a 50 Rand each way bet.
So that's some value. Decent value over there for Darren Burrows. Number 3, Kitty Boys Girl, the 4-year-old Bay filly. Let's ask Daryl Marie what he likes. Daryl, is there anything you like in what looks to be a trappy race?
Yeah, Brandon, my best bet came up in this race, number 1, Quinabi, but I thought Darren Burrows did find the danger in Kitty Boys Girl, certainly the early value play in the race. I just hope that she's not tailed off and she can hold her position from a neat draw, because you don't want to be that far back like she was on the poly track turning for home. So I'm going 1 from 3. Quinabi, now have a look at this filly. She was as high as a 77. She's down to a 60. Her form over this course and distance, she actually ran places of off a much higher rating, of a rating of 73 and 74. She's now off a 60. Richard Ferry from a 1 draw. I've got no doubt that she improved with the cheek pieces last time out. Winter Waves came and placed again. Lazy Guy placed, Drogorati placed. That was in open company. Now she's against her own fairest sex. I thought there's a lot of value about number 1, Quinabi, but I won't be upset if the 3 happens to turn her over.
Great rider is Richard Ferry. He's a wonderful rider, and I tell you, Wendy Whitehead's got her string in good form at the moment, so we do wish this combination all the best in the 7th race. Let's put up what we're doing in the 7th. I see Darren Burrows suggest a nice each-way play on this horse, Kitty Boys Girl. I just want to refresh and see the exact price. 9-1. So from about 20-1 into 9-1. That's number 3 on the program. Must have some sort of a chance. All right, so that's race 7. It goes off at 4 o'clock. There's just one more to come, and that'll be race 8 at 16:35.